What in the fuck is up, Cowboy Nation? Welcome back to another Dallas Cowboys Uncensored show. I'm your co-host, Charlie Moffitt, the talent and the eye candy. To my right or to my left, depending on how y'all fucking see it, we got Eric Berger, the other co-host and Mr. Producer. And tonight, we have two special guests, Ryan Shady and Kelly K9 from Cowboys and Chaos podcast. I almost fucked that up. How y'all doing tonight?
We're good.
Doing good. Great.
Hey, Ma, hold it down. I'm on the YouTubes. I don't really live with my mom, guys. She
There
lives
won't be
with
nothing
me.
wrong with. She lives with
I
you.
mean, it's technically her house, but y'all know what I mean. It's all good.
I hear you. We all have situations.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Eric? How you doing, bud?
Hanging in there, man. Another Friday. We made it.
We made it. 6 feet above the ground.
yeah, definitely. Let's see what we got in the chat real quick.
Oh shit! I didn't even put the chat up.
Already, we got a few peeps in there. Eric's
Kelly,
the only person that
tell
doesn't
us a
deserve
little
to
bit
have the
about
shit
yourself.
slapped
People
out of him.
watching. Where are you from? And all the good shit like that. Your podcast. And promote your podcast. Tell them to listen to it when y'all coming back.
Yep. All right. Well, originally, I'm from all over, man. I'm kind of a transient. I've been all over the United States, moved around a lot, but most of my 40 years have been spent in Texas. Lubbock, Texas, the 806. That's the Texas Tech connection. That's why you'll hear me talk about Patrick Mahomes. He's the pride of the 806. So, I mean, look, when the Cowboys play the Chiefs, I'll be screaming, sack that little noodle-haired bitch. But in the meantime, when he's not, I'm proud of him, man. He's a Red Raider. But now I'm here in Omaha, Nebraska. Still repping the Cowboys as always. And I got a podcast with me and my host, Megan. She's known as the MC on Twitter. It's Cowboys and Chaos. We'll be back actually this Tuesday. The new episode will drop on Wednesday. So we'll be getting into some stuff. Haven't had a lot of content to cover lately, so we took a little break. I've been busy. She's had a busy schedule, so we said, hey, fuck it. Let's take a few weeks off and reboot, recharge, and get ready for the season. But with training camp coming around, we'll be back and kicked off, ready to go with some fresh content for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Ryan, how about you?
Hey, man, born and raised in Amarillo, Texas. Moved to Lubbock for a while. Cowboy fan my entire life. Got it all from my dad. Unlike K9, I'm a Longhorn fan, but got a good reason. My dad went there, so got a good reason. Been diehard Cowboys. I can vaguely remember. I believe this was the 78 Super Bowl. I just remember everybody in my family or at my house going batshit crazy, and so that's when I knew I was definitely a Cowboy fan for life. I've tried to pass it on to my children, but unfortunately, the Cowboys have been pretty much ass since they've been born. So I'm hoping we can pull one off to get these kids back in line. Living in Lubbock like Kelly did, of course, my younger children love Patrick Mahomes, and so, which they should. So my son is he's a little bit of a / Kansas City fan, but I'm not.
See,
I'm
I
not
would
mad
have
at
thought
him.
Cardinals. How high in a regard do y'all hold Kliff Kingsbury?
Oh man, as a player, I love the guy as a coach. I
Yeah,
thought
man,
he
Kelly.
highly underachieved, man.
Kelly,
when he got
I'm surprised that you didn't just say something about Crabtree. I really am.
yeah, well, Crabtree's the guy, you know what I mean? But Kingsbury, I was shocked when he got a job in the NFL. I didn't think he did anything to show that he really deserved a job in the NFL. Now, he hasn't done too bad with the Cardinals, but I just thought, in college he was, for a lack of a better word, had been shit when he was the head coach.
They put up numbers though.
I mean, yeah, I mean the offense was
Fun
great,
to watch.
but I mean he just could
I
not
mean,
build a defense.
Yeah.
in honesty, you know, he just kind of took the coach before him's game plan basically. I mean, really,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
he just took the Leach approach, and but you know,
Got
Leach knew
outscore
how.
everybody.
Leach
with the air
knew
raid,
how
right?
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, the air raid, and you know, Leach was on a different level. You know, I went and saw a couple of games that Leach coached, both of them against OU, and Leach beat OU both times. He had their number, and I was actually part of the Storm the Field celebrations because one of those games OU was ranked first in the nation. You might remember that one, Kelly, and so I was kind of part of that. So I've never hated Tech. You know,
How much
I've
had you had
always-
to drink both nights?
Oh God,
Both nights.
yeah. I don't even know, but all I know is anytime OU gets beat, that is a celebration.
I'm with
I don't
that.
care. I don't care who it's by, but when I'm there live, it was fantastic. But I was really shocked by by Kingsbury going to the Cardinals. I wasn't real shocked about him going to USC. I thought the USC thing was probably going to be a pretty good fit for him, and
Yeah.
you know, because USC can put together a defense, Kingsbury cannot.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know, I think if he had stayed at USC, I think USC might have really done something, you know. But he got the Cardinals job, and he got his quarterback that he wanted. So I mean,
Yeah.
kudos, more power to him, you know. But I mean, he didn't leave Tech in the situation that Beard did. So
Yeah.
you know, I don't think Kingsbury by far isn't hated in Lubbock.
No. There's they love him. He got as much. I mean, he had more, I'd say, rope to play with than probably any coach that, you know.
Because he was a god when he was a player, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was the
Oh
guy.
man, he was a beast.
Mhm.
Yeah,
He was the quarterback that delivered the shot to Crabtree, wasn't he?
No, that was Graham Harrell. I was there in that game.
That was Harold. Okay, that was Harold.
I was in attendance. That was Halloween weekend. That was a wild game, and an even wilder scene afterwards. Man, there was people running up and down University. There was guys without their shirts on and shit. Hell, I was one of them running with my Tech flag. I was running up, screaming some obscenities at some of the Longhorn fans. It was a lot of frustration, man. We hadn't beat UT in a long time, so every time we played them to have to just sit there and eat shit and then finally be able to beat them. Yeah, I was like,
and the rank that they were at the time. That made a big difference. That one broke my heart. I'll tell you. We painted a house for a billionaire in Lubbock. He lives over off 114th, over by Las Brisas Steakhouse. If you remember that neighborhood, we're talking giant houses, and he literally had a field house. First he texts us and he says, "Hey, I want my stain on the exterior of my house to look like Tom's." And so we're like, "Who the fuck is Tom?" So we text him back, and we're like, "Who the fuck is Tom?" And what do you mean? And he writes us back, "Tom Brady," with a question mark. Like, what the fuck? You want your house to stain like Tom Brady? So we knew we were in a different league. Well, he built a field house, and literally a 50-yard football field next to his house. And on one wall is it's a picture of Jones Stadium on one side, and then on the other wall is the fucking Crabtree catch.
Nice.
So I was in there every day, like. So, but hell, I guess he's doing all right with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think many Tech fans moved to Cardinal land with him. I think Tech fans moved more towards Kansas City because The actually who's the affiliate that carries the FC games? Which one is it? Is it CBS?
Yeah.
That carries the. They now play Chiefs games rather than Texas games in Lubbock. Do you know that, Kelly? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Lubbock. If you live in Lubbock, you see every Chiefs game.
Oh wow.
Instead of the Texans like it used to be. Yeah. So yeah, Mahomes is quite a big deal there in the LBK, which he deserves it. I mean, the guy was a magician when he was at Tech. Rika.
What
Can y'all see this that Rika's putting up here?
Yeah, we're putting it up there.
Okay, all right. Yeah, not
reading
quite
it. I'm
on
like,
first name with Tom yet.
Mm-hmm. You didn't know Tom, man? Come on.
I read today that Tom played with a sprained MCL or a torn MCL. Did y'all read any of this?
Yeah, but like Numbnuts, the old Jets linebacker, he's on get up. God damn it, what's his name? Anyways, and even the old linebacker, the white guy that used to play with Tom, they both said it's really not that big of a deal. That
what was that?
with
Bruce
what he
King?
had with the torn MCL, that a lot of players have done that before.
Yeah.
They said it's just another legacy thing for Tom. He played with the torn MCL, and now it's goes on to his legacy. And I mean, hey, don't get me wrong, I love Tom. That's a beautiful fucking man. Fucking almost as beautiful as K9 there, but some competition.
Nah.
But no, I love Tom Brady. But I mean, it is one of them things. Allowed Tom Brady play with the torn MCL, won the Super Bowl. But from what they said, it's not really a huge issue that players have done it. And it depends what degree it was, a second degree, a third degree. They said, but a lot of players played with it.
Well, the majority of things that I saw was people bitching, saying because it wasn't on the injury report. And I'm just the opposite. I'm like, holy shit. This fucking guy won a Super Bowl with a torn MCL too?
Hey, T.O. played with a broken leg.
Yeah, NFL, they'll fine them if they
it's like I said,
if they find out.
They'll fine them, but what to do?
They don't give a shit.
I really feel like Tom Brady will be inducted into the Hall of Fame probably 5 or 6 years before he retires. But that's how I feel at this fucking point. Jesus Christ!
They got to start the clock at some time, man. Fuck.
Man, this fucking guy, Jesus.
Well,
Man.
they'll have a golden shrine of half of the analysts in the NFL going down on him. I think is what the shrine will be.
Charlie will be there.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy's a great football player, probably one of the best ever. I mean, he's definitely in the conversation. But I mean, Jesus Christ, you'd think he invented football with how some of these guys talk about him.
Hey, whoever your GOAT is calls him the GOAT. He's
I mean, I said I respect what he did last year, but I mean, shit, he joined a Tampa Bay squad that was about as loaded as you can get. I mean, he wasn't stupid in making the decision of who he went to play for.
They kind of loaded it up after he got there, right? I mean, it was already they already had a ton of talent with.
Everybody says that they like Aaron Rodgers wants what Tom Brady got, and I'm like, fucking Tom Brady picked that fucking team. Because that team was set. Right. Did they add some players? Yeah, they added a few, but not really on the offense side of the ball. They got Brown. They added some on the defense side of the ball, but most of that shit are draft picks or fucking free agents that was there before Tom got there.
The weapon, for sure. Aside from AB, but
AB. That's what I said. AB is about the only one they're adding on the
probably
offensive side. And Gronk, but Gronk's going to come with Brady, but that team was set up anyways. I mean, it had a great offense, had great receivers already, had a great tight end, had a good offensive line, and they added to it in the draft last year with Wirf. I can't pronounce his last name. I think his last name's Wirf. So they added that, but that team was set. I mean,
Jameis put up ridiculous numbers in that offense.
Oh yeah, I mean, he led the league in passing,
interceptions too, but that's on him, right? But
I mean,
that team was good. Tom did a good job of picking that team.
I don't know that Jameis could have won a Super Bowl. I think
nobody's saying that.
I think Tom Brady got him over that hump.
Because they couldn't even win the South.
You're talking to the wrong person when you're talking about Tom Brady, dude. I don't think when Kelly says he's in a conversation, to me there's no conversation. He's the fucking GOAT in the story. that there's nobody even comes fucking close to that guy. I mean, that's just how that's. I mean, he's
that's,
on a. I put him on a pedestal with this fucking pecker hanging right here by my head. That's how much I love that guy. I mean, that dude is the fucking shit. Me and Eric fucking.
Get ready for
Don't bring me into this.
Eric cried about it last year in the goddamn playoffs, just like everybody else Tom Brady hater does.
I wasn't crying
but
about
he gets
Tom.
all the refs. He gets the calls. Fucking
gets
Aaron
all the
Rodgers
refs.
don't
You
get
know he
nothing.
does.
Aaron Rodgers had the ball 3 fucking times.
It was
His
Patty
defense
Mahomes
gave him the
for
ball
one.
3 fucking
For
times.
one,
And he
it
didn't
was
do
Patty
shit with
Mahomes,
it.
and he was doing front flips and completing fucking helmet throws into the end zone. His guys didn't help him
You
out.
talking about? Oh, you talking about Mahomes?
Mahomes?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, they was just a better team.
That was he's unearthly. That shit that he was doing was insane. That was insane. And
Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. That's not an argument either.
Had no blocking, and this kid is. But this is really nothing new for anyone that is from around the Lubbock area or even follow Texas Tech. This kid's been
slanging it since then, right? Yeah.
This is nothing new. I mean, he's just better at it now. But he's been making these kind of plays since. I mean, how many ridiculous plays did you see him make for Tech? Just like ridiculous,
all the time.
And
all the time.
When
did he play baseball at Tech?
He did for a couple of years.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He played baseball his freshman year, and then I think his sophomore year they talked him out of coming out of the baseball team. But he had a scholarship. He had the full ride for football and baseball, but he was on the baseball team his freshman year. Yeah.
Was he drafted to the MLB? Does anybody know?
I don't think
that.
I don't think he.
I know
was.
Russ. I know Russ goes to training camp with the Yankees and shit all the time, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's drafted.
I think Russ was actually.
Yeah, Russ did.
Yeah,
Russell Wilson did for sure. Yeah.
But I don't think.
Let's get off of Lubbock. Let's go to Oxnard. What do you guys think about Hard Knocks? What's your first take on Hard Knocks? Is it something that'll help us? Are you looking forward to it? What do you want to see? Stuff like that.
I mean, the more of the star I can see, the happier I fucking am, man. I mean, I don't think I mean, these guys are used to being around. They're everywhere they go. There's a television camera. Every time they play, there's a television camera.
Yeah,
that's
kind of my take
that's not
too.
going to make a difference. If they come out and shit the bed on the field, it has nothing to do with Hard Knocks. I promise.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I fucking love it. I want to see as much as the Dallas Cowboys as I can.
Yeah, I feel like after a hangover from last year's offseason, you got to kind of double it up. And now we get some camp tape with some production value. So
right,
it's got to pull for me.
And I'm sure it's going to pull. What doesn't? What move the Cowboys make doesn't draw just stupid criticism and I mean unrealistic expectations, and I mean we're gonna see Dak miss one pass and on Hard Knocks, and oh shit, Dak can't throw a fucking pass, but I mean, sensible people know fucking better. I can't wait. I think K9 feels the same way.
I'm ready for it. All the Cowboys content I can get.
As a content creator, you gotta love it, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hear people that are like, the Cowboys don't need that distraction. No team has won the Super Bowl that's been on Hard Knocks. I said, well, there's a lot of shit that's never happened before in life. That don't mean that it applies this year.
Right?
Like, do I think that because you're on Hard Knocks, you ain't going to have a successful season? I agree with Ryan. Like, if they don't have a successful season, Hard Knocks will not be the reason. Right. It's going to be coaching. No. It's going to be the scheme. It's going to be the players. It's going to be injuries. Like, it will have shit to do with
it's going to be football. It's going to be football. It's not going to be a camera. I mean,
so
if a band goes if a band goes into a studio and there's a camera crew there recording their session, and then the album comes out like shit, you can't say, well, our music sounds like shit because there's a camera crew. I mean, it's that camera. These guys are professional athletes. Those cameras are around them constantly. They're, I mean, there might be a few people that might show out a little more for the that's definitely not going to be the reason that we don't go to the Super Bowl. And I don't even know who all's been on Hard Knocks because I could care fucking less if it's not.
We've been on there 3 times, buddy. Or this will be the third.
We're on it.
This will be the third. I think my favorite Hard Knocks season was the one with God. What was that cornerback's name that was in that shooting in Las Vegas? Was Pac-Man?
Oh, Pac-Man
Jones.
Bengals.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite Hard Knocks that I watched. I remember that one time when he was fielding punts, and I think he caught like 8 or 9 punts without dropping any of the balls or whatever. That's the one thing I remember from that. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, man, this dude right here is something else. Like he had the potential to be such a great cornerback, man, but he was just more interested in the kind of like the thug life more than anything else.
Yeah.
He had that persona that he was a gangster off the field and a football player on the field, and didn't really work out too well for the guy.
Yeah, that was 2008.
And he was a tremendous talent. But I mean, so really, you look at the teams who have been on Hard Knocks, and I don't think any of them were projected to go to the Super Bowl before
right.
they
So
were
the whole formula for them is they take a team that has them into the playoffs, right?
Yeah,
right.
There's a few qualifiers to get you on the show, so you've had to have a shitty
qualifiers
team.
now, but back in the day, that wasn't how it is.
Right.
Oh, okay.
The first one was the Super Bowl champs, Baltimore Ravens.
Gotcha.
When we came in on 2008, we just came out the 2007 13-3 season. Now, there's qualifiers because a lot of teams don't want to do it, so they got to force them to do it. So you can't be in the playoffs the past 2 years or some bullshit. There's a bunch of qualifiers.
Jerry's all about them eyeballs.
Yeah, the boy holes, baby.
Jerry's down. Jerry's down.
He's like,
Shit,
wait a second. You're gonna get millions of people watching me and you know Jerry's ass is gonna be on there all the fucking time.
Oh, dude.
He's not gonna shut the fuck up.
What was the name of the last show they were on? All or Nothing, wasn't it? All or Nothing.
All or Nothing, yeah.
Yeah.
On the Prime,
And
Amazon
Jerry,
Prime, yeah.
And Jerry Jones is literally in the coaches meeting, and I'm like, what? Why?
But that's not for camera. That's not for the camera. He does that. He's in all the coaches meetings.
Yeah,
that wasn't for camera. That's who Jerry is.
I'm like, dude.
That's still his team to the day that he dies,
and
man.
Ask Jimmy.
His hand is in the pot constantly. It always will be. I mean, can't expect nothing less from the guy at this point.
And I'm not sure it gets better after he goes.
Yeah. I mean, Steven,
because there's 15,000 of them. I mean, I was looking.
I vote for Charlotte.
I was looking online today. There was one of the Joneses that liked a tweet, and he had the most fucked up name, and I can't remember what it was. It was something to the effect of Quilt, or I cannot remember what his name was, but I was like, oh my God, if this guy takes over the team, I'm out, man. I can't find his name for nothing. He was I guess a cousin or a nephew, or
if you don't have Jones on the back of his jersey, he ain't owning that motherfucker. He ain't running shit.
He has Jones. His last name is Jones.
Is it hyphenated, his name and then Jones? You go that route?
I don't know. But
it's not the son-in-law, is it? The guy that was polishing Jerry's glasses, it's not that guy, is it? Remember that shit? Jerry passed the guy his glasses, like, here, shine that shit up, boy.
Probably. It was an awful name, like you would never want this guy to own your team kind of name. I was like, oh, dude, I'd have to be out if he owned it. For sure.
I think at this point, the guys that are marrying into the Jones family actually drop their name and take on the Jones family name.
Ryan Burkhalter Jones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I look forward to Hard Knocks, man. I can't wait. All the Cowboys I can get. Now, last season it was a little bit different because that was such a horrific.
Yeah, we got next
show.
to nothing. We got nothing.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I was literally looking into putting my kid into any kind of sport I could put him into that was playing on a Sunday, just so I would have an excuse.
I got turned on to the KBO. Y'all watch that Korean baseball organization? That shit is wild, son.
No. Is it? Well, last year,
if you're a baseball fan,
last,
but it's too slow for you, go watch Korean baseball. That shit is off the chain, dude.
fast.
That flips.
Last
It
year
don't
was the
fucking
first
matter,
year
bro.
last year was the first year that I literally had to turn the channel a couple of times. I couldn't
Post Dak.
I couldn't stomach what I was seeing. It was just so bad.
That was like 2015. Yeah.
Oh man. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
Funny, funny story about last year was I was in San Antonio, Texas, watching the Cleveland Browns game, and I was just pumped up to be around a bunch of Cowboys fans. I'm like, I'm in Texas, Cowboys fans. This is going to be awesome, man. Took my son there, and I'm like, this is going to be a good experience for both of us. You know, he's going to like this, get him to see what it's really like, you know, and around a bunch of Cowboys fans. So we go to this restaurant. We're at this restaurant, jam-packed full of Cowboys fans. There's like maybe 5 Cleveland Browns fans there. And we start out, we get that early touchdown, and we're up. Dak drives right down the field, makes it look easy. And I'm like, all right, man, we're in here. Next thing you know, we're getting our fucking heads pounded in. And there's 5 Cleveland Browns fans in there, but I swear to God, you'd have thought there was 50 of them because they're just making every time they score, they're making more. And the Cowboys fans are just it's dwindling down. It's getting less and less and less. Yeah. And I always usually stay to the bitter end. And I'm looking at my son, and he's looking at me. He could tell I kind of had a defeated look on my face, and I'm like. Finally, I'm like, man, fuck this game. Let's go. So we go, we get in my car. We're driving back to the hotel. And I have a buddy of mine says, hey, man, you still watching the game? I said, I'm on my way back to the hotel. I'll check the score when I get there, but I'm probably going to drink some beer and sit by the pool, man. This game's done.
We got back in it a couple times.
Yeah, he goes, I don't know, man. You may want to go look back at it. And so I go and I look and I see that I turn the game on my phone.
Down
and
3.
We scored a touchdown, and we're right there. And they got my hopes back up, so I'm running up to the hotel room. I turn the game back on, and I'm all fucked. Now I'm back in it, and I'm screaming, I'm yelling. I'm like, all right. And just to get let back down again.
And you were also posting on our group text because you're the one who got me to turn it back on because I was actually at my kid's baseball team. I was actually at my kid's baseball game. So I turned it back on because Kelly was going, holy shit, hey, man, we're fucking coming back and all this shit. And then the other guys were talking too. And then go ahead, Kelly.
No, and then I ended up in my back in my car.
Then he went back to the bar, talking all that shit to the Browns fans, and then we fucking lose it at the end.
So here's how it went for me though. Kelly's on our group chat saying, "Oh shit, man, hey, we got a chance. We got a couple other guys. We have a fantasy football league together. That's why." And we got a couple other guys going, "Hey man, we can fucking do this." And I'm like, "Oh shit." So I'm trying to get the game back on my phone. I turned the game back on my phone. The Cleveland Browns are lined up, and Odell Beckham Jr. runs a fucking 50-yard reverse for a touchdown. And I was like, man.
Yeah, that's it. That was it.
Yeah.
You sons of bitches.
Yeah, that was the one game I didn't watch. I once we got behind. Because usually we get behind, I was like, man, we got a chance.
After that Falcons game, you didn't see. I was glued.
I didn't. Because I was so
better.
fucking sick of getting behind. I'm like, fuck this shit, man.
My little brother's a Browns fan, so
so I cut it off, and I stayed off the internet. So I never even knew about the comeback until the next day. I was like, God damn, we made a little bit of a comeback. And I thought, I'm glad I didn't watch it because I've been like Kelly. I got all excited and yes, we're going to do this. And my fucking hopes and dreams would have been destroyed like they have been for 25 years.
If you're into moral victories, I mean, chalk it up, but.
Yeah.
It was the same way for me when Dak broke his ankle.
Glorious death.
I guess I was. We're
gonna lose
everyone else, and on my phone, the messages started popping up. Oh shit, it's broke. Oh my God, Dak just broke his ankle, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because I hadn't. I
seen him trying to pop it in. I was like, oh, stop!
I did not see that until actually that interview that he did with that Sage Steele when he tried to pop his ankle back in. I saw that with the interview, and I was like, oh
no, it's broken, bro. You can't just pop that in.
When he rolled over and he lifted his foot up, and I saw his foot sideways, and my son was sitting there. I'm like, oh shit, he fucking broke that, and he started hitting against the ground. I'm like. Hell yeah, baby. pop that motherfucker back
He's
in and go
coming back.
play.
Yeah.
Give him a
Coming
shot.
Right.
No, after my injuries, I was like, yeah, that motherfucker's done. He ain't coming back after that.
Yeah, it's out of there. And I knew then because I mean our defense was already just trash, and I knew
No, I knew. Well, it didn't even matter about the defense.
fucked.
I've
Completely
always said
fucked.
when you lose quarterback
Yeah.
90% of the time, you might as well just shit the bed because your season's over with.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody in 2015 when we lost Romo, well, if we can
Oh
do
my
this,
God.
we'll be okay. And I'm like, no, dudes, the fucking season's over with. Fucking go ahead and fucking think back next year about 2016 because 2015 is done.
Yep.
You know, and
Done.
that's how
And
it
it
is.
was
I mean,
done.
you have outliers like Dak. He's an outlier.
2016.
He came in 2016 and took over. Kurt Warner did it in 99. Tom Brady did it in 01. So you have guys like that. But 9 times out of 10, your season's going to go to shit if you lose quarterback 1. So
Well,
I wasn't no Red Rifle fan. I'm like, he was good. I mean, he was above average, but he wasn't going to take us to the glory hole, as
and-
Jerry Jones would say.
I know in 2016 when I remember the preseason, I remember thinking, damn, this kid, this Prescott kid, I liked him from when he was at Mississippi State.
I hated the pick. I thought it was dumb, and I talked shit about it and everything.
I actually mocked him to us.
I posted it on my Facebook at the time, man, and I still every once in a while send the screenshots to people. I said, I was like, this kid may got something right here. I like him. I said he's going to have a couple years though to learn behind Romo.
No,
and I was totally wrong about that. But I liked the pick just because I thought that he thought he showed some things at Mississippi State. I mean, hell, that school had never been number 1 in the history of their program. He brought them all the way.
Nowhere close.
In the SEC like that, the SEC, man, that's as close as you get to the NFL, in my opinion, man. And I'm a big 12 fan, but the SEC is just an NFL factory. So, I mean, but when Romo went down, even seeing what I'd seen in the preseason from Dak, I said, man, our season's fucking over. It's over. I mean, there's no way in hell you could have told me, and that I would have not laughed my ass off, that we were going to win 13 fucking games that year. Even with Ezekiel Elliott, you could have been like, we'll be a run-heavy offense, but I mean, you still got to have a quarterback that can make the plays. And I mean, the way Dak stepped in there, the way he was composed, like he won me over in 2016. I didn't have to see anything else from that point. I was like, hey, this kid, he's got it.
He actually won me over in the preseason that year. Because like I said, I hated the pick. I did not like the pick. I can, if I had it on here, I'll pull it up. I said his ceiling was what did I say, Eric? Above average backup quarterback. That's what I thought about it. That's how poorly I thought of him.
Yeah.
And the first game was against the Rams, the preseason game, and it made me go, look pretty good. Preseason, I don't lay a lot into it, I was like, but he looked pretty good. His patience impressed me. The second game, same thing. I was like, damn, this kid, maybe he does have something. Then the third preseason game when Romo went down and he came in against the Legion of Boom in that defense, and he rolled him. And I know it's a third preseason game, but he rolled him. And so I was like, at that point, I'm like, okay, because Romo was going to miss 8 games that year. Was supposed to. I was like, all right, if he can get us to 4-4, maybe 5-3, if he can get us somewhere in there, Romo will come in, he can take over, and we can make a push to the playoffs. And then that motherfucker got us to 7-1, and I'm like, holy shit! And it was the Green Bay game, I think, or the Pittsburgh game that made me think, all right, he's our future quarterback.
Yeah.
But it was the Eagles game.
It was the Eagles
like,
for me.
It was the Eagles game where he played like shit for 3.5 quarters. I mean, he played bad.
Yeah.
And then the fourth quarter, last drive, drove him down there, touchdown. Overtime, got the ball, drove him down there, touchdown. I'm like, fuck it, it's his job. Romo's got to go. It's Dak. Don't put Romo back in. From that point on, I'm like, I was a Romo sexual. Now I'm a Dakaholic. We're going with fucking Dak. Because I loved Romo, but when he did that, I was like, you got to keep this kid in there. You can't even think about putting Romo back in there. Just let it ride for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I was probably one of the biggest Romo fans you'd find out there, man. But when Dak, I had my general manager. He's not a big Cowboys fan, but he knows I am, so he's always talking to me about it. And he's like, so what do you think about this Dak kid and the Romo situation? I was like, Dak he won the job, and I was saying that at 5-1, 6-1, like pretty early on in the season. I'm like, you can't put that kid on the bench. I was like, he won the job. I mean, it sucks, And he's like, really? He's like, you're Romo about as pro Romo as it gets. He's like, that's your guy. I said, he is my guy. I said, but I'm going to go with the kid that I'm seeing right now. That's this young kid, the fresh draft pick. That's like, I mean, he won the team over too, though. You know what I mean? The team was behind him.
Yeah, like the whole team. He won Jason Witten over.
Jason Witten.
When you take Jason Witten and Jason Witten's backing you, then that tells you all you need to know, because that was Romo's boy, and when he got Witten, then you that's all you need to hear. He's got Witten. He's got that whole locker room. If he had Witten, he impressed me. No, like I said, that was the Eagles game. It was, like I said, it was the Pittsburgh or the Green Bay game before that made me think, okay, something's going on here. They're going to have to think about not putting Romo back in. They're going to have to make a decision here. And then after the Eagles game, I was like, there's no decision to make. Y'all got to get the fuck. Romo's just got to go. He's got to sit over there, and this is Dak's team now.
Right.
And ever since then, I've been defending Dak and listening to all the dumb shit people say about him. Fucking Matthew Stafford's better than Dak now, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, y'all.
But I have excellent internet, and I do this, and all of a sudden it just starts over me. I don't know.
Don't feel bad, dude. Eric knows I can go all day with everything's fine. As soon as I fucking hook up and start doing this show, my internet goes to pure shit.
Charlie lives in a village. It's not even a town, bro. It's a fucking village.
I'm not paying AT&T.
I was just gonna ask Ryan if maybe that West Texas wind was whipping around.
Fucking tumbleweeds and shit.
Yeah, the fucking tumbleweed.
Probably is.
Got wire got hung up in a tumbleweed.
Yeah, you got a tumbleweed caught up in your router.
A horse kicked over the tower.
Who are some of y'all's Kelly, I'll start with you. Who are some of y'all's pets going into camp? What battles do you want to see the most, and who do you want to come out as someone getting a roster spot that maybe, not everybody else sees?
You know what? Actually, I don't know. I think he's been talked about a little bit as far as at least on that DC page. DC writers have talked a little bit about that. Nashawn Wright, that cornerback that they got absolutely murdered for taking him, because
I love to hear it.
They said that, he was a guy that they never should have drafted him as high as they did. He's a guy that's 6th, 7th round kind of guy. Like, he's not. And, but I mean, everything that I've heard early on in training camp, I mean, the guy just makes plays, and he's also that prototypical kind of Dan Quinn type player that, the bigger, physical, long, rangy type, Sherman type guy. Mm-hmm. So I'm rooting for him. And one of the main reasons why is because we have kind of out of necessity. We got to, that secondary has to be better. I mean, they've got to. I mean, they're so young. There's lack of veterans there, so you're going to have to get some production out of some young guys. So if you get a guy like that surprises some people, I mean, obviously we drafted that Kelvin Joseph or whatever in the 2nd round or whatever, and everybody's expecting him to just step in, but
sure.
And then maybe he will, but I mean, I think you have to get some production out of these younger cornerbacks. So I mean, for me, that's what I'm looking forward to, is to see how this secondary unit's going to come together, because it's kind of it's a lot of young guys, and then when you're talking about the safety unit, you got some ragtag, all over.
Who knows, right?
That you're putting together. So I mean, yeah, who knows what the hell is going to happen out of that? That's going to be very interesting to watch and see how that secondary comes together. But I think that it's got Dan Quinn's fingerprints all over it. They let him go to work. They let him, and I like that they did that. I mean, because if you're sitting there and you're saying, hey, let's let Mike McCarthy, you go ahead and you get these guys, well, then you're doing an injustice to your defensive coordinator. Let him get the guys in that he wants. Let him put his handprints on. As Bill Parcells would say, let him do the grocery shopping. You get the groceries. Hey, you get the groceries because you're the one cooking the meals. So Dan Quinn cooked that shit up, because we need a fucking defense, man. There was no D in Dallas last year. We were Alice.
None.
Well, that's good. I mean, he let the coaches do it, but they can be bad too, because they let Rod make them decisions too.
For a long time.
Yeah, that's how we ended up with Taco. And honestly, that's how we ended up with fucking Zeke, because Rod said take Zeke, he will help the defense more than any player on the board will.
Right.
That's what he told them, to take Zeke at 4, because he will help the defense more than any player they're going to take. Yeah. Now, looking back on that, I think he probably feels like a dumbass, considering we could have had Jalen Ramsey there, and I don't think Zeke could help the defense more than Jalen Ramsey can. So,
Jalen
it could be
Ramsey's
good.
nasty.
But I would say this: I'm with you. I trust him more than I trust Rod. I trust Quinn because I think Quinn's a good defense player. Defensive coordinator. I think he does. I think he's on the right side of the ball.
Yeah.
I know his head coaching career didn't go great, but there's a lot of shit that goes into that too. So.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest. He wasn't the greatest as far as being a head coach, but I still got to give him credit, man, to getting the Super Bowl, man. Not many coaches can say they made it to that plateau. You know what I mean? So
that's what I'm saying. No, he didn't do horrible.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen worse. I've seen worse Cowboy coaches.
Yeah, 3 runs and a field goal from being a champion. I mean, really. You know, I mean, they just made some.
He just has 2 of the biggest fucking blunders of comebacks. One in the Super Bowl and one with us last year.
Definitely.
When you have them 2 things, it makes you look really bad when you when that shit happens.
It's time for a change of scenery.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what in the fuck are they going to do with the 415 linebackers that we have. That's what that's what I'm looking forward to see. You know, of course, the obvious, Micah. What can he do? Can Jalen pull his head out of his ass or wherever the hell it was last year?
He can pull his head out of his ass all he wants to. He can't repair that fucking nerve in his knee, so I don't think anything's going to be. I mean, dude, I don't see anything coming from Jalen.
The drop that happened from one year to the next, you know, I was waiting for the fucking Scooby-Doo crew to run out there and grab one of his braids and pull his fucking mask off, and it's one of the Joneses' grandkids out there. You know, and we knew it all along because I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with this fucking guy, man?" You know. And then
I think you can lay some blame on the scheme with Nolan and all that, but he's been declining since before that too.
Yeah, he went down in 2019.
2019.
2019 he wasn't as good as it was in 2018, and in this is basically what he did. He didn't do shit in 2017. He was above average linebacker. For 10 to 12 games in 2018, he was good.
Wolfpack.
And they paid him off of that. Yeah. In 2019, he dropped right back down to probably a little better than he was in 2017. And in 2020, he was the same player he was in 2017. He's an above average linebacker. That's who he was. We have a 10 to 12 game sample size out of 17, 18, 19, 20. Out of 4 years, everybody's judging him off a 10 to 12 game sample size and thinking that's who the fuck he is. And they're ignoring all the other games that he ain't that person and just judging him off that and hoping he's going to get back to that. I don't think he can get back to that. I think he is who he is. He has problems with lateral movements. He has problems getting off the ball. He has problems reading the holes. He has problems with gap integrity. He has problems getting off offensive linemen. He's just his
football IQ.
Watch him and go watch a highlight film of him in college and watch that player. And then watch his highlight film, and you ain't going to see the same player. That dude in college, that was a bad motherfucker. And if we got that guy, then that would be fine. We don't got that guy.
We did get that guy. His name is Micah Parsons.
His back speed, his front speed was better. Everything he did was better. Yeah. This is why they feel about when you draft Cox in the 4th and you draft Parsons as your number 1 pick, your first pick. That's telling you what the team thinks about their linebacker situation. I mean, you are spending an investment in that, and then you go off and sign a strong safety and make him into a linebacker. You brought 3 new fucking linebackers in. So to me, that's telling me that fucking Jalen them, they're on notice.
Get your fucking sunglasses. Get the fuck out, bro.
Yeah, because this is ridiculous. You know?
And
I mean, you can only blame so much on scheme, but the scheme did suck. It was absolutely horrible.
Scheme sucked, but dude, I mean, I don't watch film, but the replays just that I saw that Vok does, you know, oh my Vok's God, good. Bro. I mean, it was sickening. You're just like, what the fuck? This guy's literally running the other way.
Yeah, when he said to go watch the tape, when asked, you know, how he felt about his position and all that stuff, and we're like, what the fuck? Are you serious? You want us to go watch that shit? Come on, bro.
Isn't that the last thing you want, dude? I mean, seriously? Because, you know, and then LVE, he just can't stay healthy. And that pisses me off because as a rookie, he was a monster, and I bought 5 of his fucking jerseys. So I'm a little bit pissed off with that. But then again, I've got an entire closet full of fucking weird Dallas Cowboy jerseys.
You
So
bought
I
five
guess I just
55s?
Yeah,
I
at
got
the stadium.
I got
At
me
the
an
stadium.
I got me a LVE jersey on sale at Dick's, man. They had that shit like going on sale, man. I bought that shit on sale. I was like, here, I'll buy this sucker. Maybe he comes back. Maybe he's healthy.
But collar's all
mean-
torn.
Well, my son, you see behind me, he wore 55, so he was a big LVE fan, and he wore it before
Yeah.
LVE did. So when
Yeah.
LVE took 55, he's all proud that LVE took his 55.
Oh.
Not
Yeah,
that
I've
he took
got-
his 55, but you know what I mean. He was wearing the
I've
same
got
number.
a picture of me and my wife and 3 kids all sporting our 55 jersey right before they got smashed by the Rams in the playoffs. Oh man, that
They
pissed
did
me
get
off. That was a
smashed.
lot of
That
money.
defense got
Yeah.
smashed.
Yeah, they got smashed. I don't post that picture.
200-yard rushers or some shit.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Some
Yeah.
fat dude that came off the goddamn couch a few weeks before
Yeah.
that.
You
know?
yeah, it
And
was
that's
the
another
dude
thing
shot
about that defense
from
was
Memphis.
is that defense overall as a whole, people remember them 10 to 12 games during the 2018 season. If you
Yeah.
watch the second half of that season, there was holes that was being shown.
Yeah.
What helped us was a New Orleans Saints game on Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football. When we
Yeah.
shut them down
Yeah.
to 10 points, everybody jumped on that bandwagon. All
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that defense is a top 5 defense. But
I
if you
started
watch
streaming them
throughout
in
the season,
fantasy.
the rest of that season, Indianapolis Colts, they got steamrolled. There was
Yeah.
certain games that they were
Drove.
showing holes that showed up, that was showing up every week, and it reared its ugly head in the playoffs. And then the next year, 2019, you saw it. Just it wasn't what it was through the 8-9 games, the first half of the 2018 season. Like I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah,
it
I was at the Seattle playoff game. Like I was telling y'all, I was at the Seattle playoff game, and most of us in the stands were completely baffled by Pete Carroll's approach to that game.
Dude, if Pete Carroll would have passed the ball, they would have
Dude,
killed us.
it was
we wouldn't
it
won
was
that
like-
game.
it was
Russell
like,
Wilson
what
was
are-
eating us
what-
alive through the air, and he just
That
kept on.
dude-
He's one of them coaches, one of them defense
you-
coaches, one of them fans that just want to establish to run, and he tried 4
was
quarters to establish it,
bizarre.
and it never happened.
Yeah.
If you've never seen Russell live, I suggest you do, because that guy throws a ball like no one I've ever seen throw a ball. I swear to God, man, it looks like he's trying to throw the son of a bitch completely out of the roof of the stadium.
That's that baseball, man. That baseball
just
background.
pinpoint. It's just pinpoint, right where it's supposed to be. It's something to watch. We watch the warm ups. I have videos. I'll post those videos on Twitter of him just throwing these balls just way up in the air, and then it boom, just bam, just right into it. It really is a sight to see. And you know, when you're a Cowboy fan, you're sitting there going, "What the fuck are they doing?" You know that.
Keep
what
doing
the
it, though.
game plan. Yeah, please keep doing it. And then Dak does his miraculous run and everything that happened after that. That was great. Knock
No,
on
I was
wood,
with you. I was with you. I was glad they wasn't trying to pass the ball.
Man,
Yeah.
that was great.
You and
I've
me
been
both.
To probably 20. I've been to probably 20 Dallas Cowboy games. And knock on wood, I've never seen them lose. I've never seen them lose live.
Damn,
But now,
that's a great streak.
a majority of those games came in the 90s.
You need to start going to every game, bro.
Yeah, a majority of those games came in the 90s.
Get you some season tickets.
Probably 12 of those games were in the 90s. So, I've luckily not seen them lose in the 7 games that I've been to since the 90s.
You didn't go to that 78 Super Bowl?
No. I was.
No,
I
my
was-
son's
I was-
the same
I
way.
was 5 years old.
My son's never been to a game that they lost.
Yeah,
Nice.
Every game I took him to, he went to his first one was a fucking Philly game when he was a year and a half, and I never
Yeah.
would take him back because a bunch of fights broke out. One fight broke out 2 rows ahead of us, and I'm like, man, I can't bring my kid to this kind of shit. And then
because
he saw that game. We won that game, the Indianapolis Colts game in 2006. We won the Atlanta game in 2009. We won the Giants game in 2017. We won, and I think there was one more. But so hopefully he'll keep the streak going this year, September 27th against the Eagles, and
I
we'll
went
win
and
that
saw
one too.
him. I went and saw them 4 times in '92 when they went to the Super Bowl, and we knew they were going to the Super Bowl. Seeing them live was incredible. We went and saw them play the Seahawks, and they held the Seahawks to 53 total yards. Total yards, 50 fucking 3. And we knew, and I went with my dad, and me and my dad talked about it. I was a teenager. I was 21 when they won that Super. Well, so I was in my 20s, and
Ooh, Ryan, Jesus.
Yeah.
Hey, hush, Kelly, because I'm the same age as Ryan.
We knew. I was 21 when they won their first Super Bowl. So I actually got to enjoy that in a bar.
Were you 21?
Full of Cowboys.
Because I was 19. I was 19 for 27. I was 20 for 28, and I was 22 for 30.
I had just turned 21 in November.
Okay.
For that,
I was 19.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds right.
I barely had fuzz on my peaches when they won in '95. Shit.
Yeah, same.
I
was 11.
That's kind of what makes me mad, man. Is that like I'm if they ever make it to the Super Bowl, I've already told everybody that knows me. I said I'm gonna throw the biggest fucking party you've ever seen. I'm talking about keg, briskets. Like it's gonna be.
I'm not driving to Nebraska then.
Yeah,
it's gonna be massive, man. I mean, I want to feel what it's like to be like on top of the world. You know what I mean?
Ryan, hey, check it out. Last night when me and Ryan went on to make sure Ryan's shit was working,
yeah,
we got on this conversation, and I was telling him that a lot of the fans now, the younger fans, I was like, I don't know who has it worse. I was like, fans like me and Ryan who witnessed that shit, and we got to walk around with our shirts on and our chip hats. Well, not Super Bowl 30 because them fucking hats was ugly, but we got to walk around with our shit on. And brag about shit and we know how it feels to be on top of the world. So we felt it. But the younger generation, they don't even know how that feels. But where they got advantage at is it's kind of what they know. They don't know how it feels, so they don't know what they lost. But fucking the older generation like me, it's like, man, y'all, if you just can experience 1 year, dude, it is fucking great. It is great. And to do it 3 times in 4 years, that was unbelievable. But if I can just get one, I'd be happy.
I mean, if you think about it, if you think about this, I think what's impressive about that whole thing is the fact that the Cowboys stay as relevant as they are and have as many fans, including the ones that have never seen them win shit, haven't won since '95. I mean, it's been over 20 fucking years, man, that they've been fucking and really honestly
25.
Yeah.
25. And you're talking about really since the '95 season. They have been mediocre because I mean you don't get out of that mediocre conversation until you see maybe a couple NFC Championship games. You know what I mean? If we had been to a couple NFC Championship games, so it's like hey, a playoff here too. You're not in the conversation of being anything other than mediocre, but you still are gathering. You're still getting all them new fans. You still have all the existing fans that ain't jumping off, the loyal fans, and you're still one of the most recognizable brands in all of sports. In the midst of a 25-year championship drought. To me, that's impressive. That's staying power right there, that they've been able to do that. So can you imagine what it would do for that franchise? I mean, when we win another championship, that's just into another fucking stratosphere right there because you're talking about a whole new generation because you got all the bandwagon, but not necessarily bandwagons, but these young kids that when a team wins a championship, that's what got me. My parents were Cowboys fans, but when I saw them win a Super Bowl in '92, that's what hooked me in. I was 12 years old and I was hooked for life. I'm like, then we won it in '93, then we won in '95, and I'm like, shit, we're gonna win every fucking. This is easy. This shit's fucking. I'm like, I'm getting used to this. I could get used to this. So you bring all these new fans in. So like, I'm just excited for this team. Like, I can't wait until they win another Super Bowl to see what that does. And just, it just makes me more.
The feeling from championship game leading up to the Super Bowl is pretty much indescribable. The nervousness, the complete anxiety and the excitement and going into the championship game as well, especially when you're going into a championship game against, say, a Steve Young and a Jerry Rice with really. And the odds are you're not going to win that game. And then Alvin Harper catches a fucking slant across the middle and takes it to the 10, and then Emmett runs it in. there are no words to express that. I mean, I remember looking over at my friend Mark and telling him, dude, we're going to the fucking Super Bowl, dude. We are going to the fucking Super Bowl. This is fucking insane. And everybody just being crazy. And then that week leading up, and then we just destroy the Bills. And now we're world champions, and we still have the same team coming in the next year. I mean, it's indescribable, and I want Cowboy fans to feel that, to know what that feels like, because it's indescribable.
Jerry's done a good job of keeping us relevant. Over 25 years. I mean, he's done it.
That's a businessman.
That's what I mean.
He is.
But it's just it's like I was telling Ron last night. It's just like the only thing is that I don't know, man. It's like the other day I had a conversation with somebody about where we are, and we was comparing ourselves to the Bengals, and like they like, well, at least we aren't the Bengals, and I'm like, two things. First of all, in the past 10 years, we're not really no better than the Bengals. They got 5 playoff appearances. We got 3. We got 2 wins. They got 0. But they averaged 7.7 wins. We averaged 8.7 wins over the last 10 years. So, okay, we're better than the Bengals by a game. And we won a couple playoff games. They've been a couple more than we have. Really? That's where the fuck we're at? That's where we're at as a Cowboy organization, that we're having to say, at least we're not the fucking Bengals? Yeah. Because that's not what I ever dreamed of. I mean, what about Pittsburgh?
Can't even say the Browns anymore.
What about the New York Giants? What about the teams, even the San Francisco 49ers, shitty they've been for the past 20 years, they've still done more. That's the teams that we're in the conversation with. That's the teams we're supposed to be. And we're not. We're not even close. We came in. We can't say, well, we're almost here with the Steelers. No, we're not. We gotta compare our team to the worst team in their division, or second worst team, to the Bengals. That's what we got to say. Well, at least we're not the Bengals. We're better than the Bengals. Well, we're not that fucking much better, and that's what's fucking frustrating about it.
At least we're not Tulane. I mean, shit.
Yeah, it's just like, man. I mean, great. We're not the Bengals, but that's not the conversation I want. I want a conversation. Who's better, us or Green Bay over the past 20 years? Who's better, us or the Giants over the past 20 years? Who's better, us or the Pittsburgh Steelers over 20 years? Or the San Francisco 49ers?
Or the Ravens.
All the top teams. And none of us, and we're not in the same conversation, them guys. And that's what's fucking irritating.
I think what would be my dream scenario right now for the Cowboys, it would make me it would give me over the moon, would be like, make a playoff run, and in the process of that playoff run, you beat Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, take out Brady in the NFC Championship game, and then win the Super Bowl versus Mahomes. That'd be my ideal championship run right there.
That's a quarterback.
That would be fucking great.
I mean, that's you beat kind of like the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks right there on your way to the Super Bowl. Not saying I think we're going to do that this year. I don't think this Cowboys team constructed a Super Bowl winner. I think they're a playoff team, but I think we're still a little ways off from the Super Bowl fixing this defense. But if we could, I mean, that'd be my shit. That'd be like back in the, back when we knocked off a Steve Young, or like that's the kind of shit that I want to see.
Brett Favre,
Jim Kelly, and the Bills. That was a great quarterback. Some great quarterbacks today.
That was the order that it was in. It was Brett Favre, Steve Young, Jim Kelly. I mean, that was no joke quarterbacks then. I mean,
there's some really good quarterbacks right now in the NFC.
Well, Kelly, since we started this conversation, what is your expectations of the season? Because we're an hour in. I want to get you out of here so you can go celebrate your lady's birthday.
Yeah,
a few beers first.
Get my ass in trouble, and I will not get in this bed tonight if that's it. No, I think this is a playoff team. I think we'll win the NFC. I expect us to win the NFC East. I expect us to win the NFC East by default, because I think the NFC East is pretty much it's trash right now. I mean, there's not really anybody that's good. Washington's got a good defense. They got a really good defense. Still not sold on their quarterback position. Fitzpatrick isn't scaring me. I don't care what anybody says. Same thing with the Giants. They got a really good defense, but I mean, Daniel Jones is their question mark. If you've got a question mark at the quarterback position, I don't find you as a threat. So the Cowboys' biggest thing is their defense. If they can improve, and I've heard a lot of people say it, but I mean, it's true. If you can get to about the middle of the pack, I'm thinking around 15 to 18, 18th ranked defense. I think they'll win a lot of games this year. I think they're going to win probably 12 to 13 games. My expectation is that I would like to see them win at least 2 playoff games. I don't know if they'll do it. I think they got capability to get in the playoffs and beat at least one team, but it all is going to hinge on the defense. Everything hinges on the defense. I think this offense has got the capability to be the best in the NFL. I mean, you saw it last year. I mean, shit, with Dak at the helm. I mean, they were. I mean, Dak was on record pace to shatter, records we've seen. And now this year he gets an extra game, a 17th game. I don't think that offense is going to take a step back. If anything, I think they'll be better because we've got the offensive line's going to come in healthy this year. So, I mean, I've got some high expectations, but I have high expectations every year.
Every goddamn year.
I mean, when you look at the Cowboys offense on paper. When you look at them on paper, there is no reason why they shouldn't be scoring 35 points a game. I mean,
Absolutely.
with their halfway asleep, they could do that shit because they've got the talent to do it. So it really excites me this year. I'm excited to see if Tyron Smith can play a full season. Hasn't happened in quite a while, but now he's saying that the latest surgery that he has got him feeling right. He feels better than he's ever felt before. We've heard that before. But we'll see if it's true. La'el Collins coming back. I don't know. I'm pretty excited, though. I think they're going to win at least a playoff game. My hope is for 2. Love to see them win 2 playoff games.
Get to the chip.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see them play in an NFC championship game, and and then just kind of build on what they've started with that defense this next year. Maybe pick up a few key free agents, hit on some stuff in the draft, and build on it next year. And then maybe next year we come into the season with Super Bowl expectations, but. Playoff game or 2 this year is what I'm expecting. Win the NFC East, and long as we beat the Eagles twice too, man, I'm gonna beat the shit out of the Eagles.
I'll see if we've got it tied up at the end of the season. We might not. We might just sit everybody that last game.
Yeah, that last game, I actually got us losing that last game just because I think we'll have it locked up, and I think we'll set everybody for that last game. It'll still be sweet to beat them if we sit
nice
everybody.
Garrett Gilbert or Danucci or someone gets some dub. Yeah.
Let's let our it'd be nice to see our backups beat them because then we could just be.
Then we can really talk shit.
Anytime I get to talk shit to Philadelphia fans, it's a good day. It's a good day.
Good day.
And it's so easy.
Yeah, it is easy.
It's so easy to talk shit to those idiots.
Yeah.
Well, Kelly, get out of here and go enjoy your night, man, and drink a beer for me.
I got
happy birthday to your lady.
What's that? You got to leave too?
Yeah, I got to roll too, bros. I got to.
Well, Kelly,
you guys.
Tell everybody where they can get you at, and do me a favor. Do it in a Jerry. Bring Jerry into this, and tell us where they can find you on Twitter and Cowboys and Chaos and shit. Go.
Well, now, Cowboys Nation, you can find Kelly K9 and the MC on the Cowboys and Chaos podcast. And it's like my grandpappy said, you could spray paint the skunk's white stripe black, but that don't make it a cat. So if you ain't listening to Cowboys and Chaos, you might be experiencing some stink in the air from lack of content. So make sure you click and subscribe and follow them. And if you can't find me on Twitter, ask these boys where to go and they'll direct you because they're some stand-up guys.
Hey, dude.
That shit is gold.
Dude, that's fucking, I love it, man.
I gotta tell you, Kelly, every time I see the thumbnail come up and I see you with that phone and I know it's a Jerry.
God,
I know it's
so
a
good.
Jerry thing. I'm on the edge of my seat hoping to God that whomever you're talking to puts you on hold so you can do the song while you're on hold because that fucking kills me. You said the one time you said, my mind on my money on my mind. And then another time I think you said, there's some hoes in this place. There's hoes in this. That shit just kills me. I'm like, come on, put him on hold. Put him on hold.
That was good, Kelly. Hey, we appreciate y'all
Appreciate you
coming
guys,
on.
man. A lot of
And,
fun.
Definitely have me back on again, man.
Yeah,
I like doing this.
yeah,
I enjoyed it. You guys are great.
sure.
And when the season's coming back on, man, I'll come on anytime. You
Yeah,
guys just let me
well,
know.
we're starting to
Sure.
run with
Sure.
Riker on Saturdays. Us, Riker, and Buff, and Cowboys, y'all.
Okay.
We'll probably do. We'll bring on Saturday. Hell, we might bring on Tuesday. We don't even know when we're doing ours, and we might end up doing the same night y'all do, or the same. Well, no, you pre-record, don't you?
Yeah,
And
we
send it out the next
pre-record
day.
and then drop it on
Okay,
Wednesday.
but then
Yeah.
you can still come on with us.
For sure.
But
sure.
if not weekends, if you'll have a Saturday option too, because we'll have another show on Saturdays if you want to come on then. And you
Yep.
too, Ryan. You're more than welcome to come back.
Yeah, definitely.
Appreciate
man.
y'all coming on, man. Y'all
Appreciate
get
it.
out there and go
Great-
drink some beer for us.
Great time.
All right, man. I'll have a couple for you guys. Yeah,
All
have
right,
a
tell your
couple.
girlfriend I said happy birthday.
All right, I will. Thanks, guys.
All right, later, dude.
All right, bye.
Go Cowboys.
Later, dude.